Good evening, race fans. Good evening, BSTV fans, and welcome to Spa. You've joined us for rounds 5 and 6 of the TCR Challenge Cup, hosted by BSTV. I am Pete Bingham, and I am joined in the booth by Sir Alan of Toon, as always, for TCR. Good evening, Alan.
Good evening, Pete. Good evening, everyone. My pleasure to be here at delicious Spa.
Absolutely. You can see by the track map, Alan, it's quite a technical and convoluted track at Spa. It really is a Marmite track, though. There's an equal amount of people that don't like it compared to those that do like it. I sit in the like camp. I do like turning laps around Spa. There are some absolutely amazing features at this track. You can say unique. You can say all those wonderful superlatives about lots of different tracks. This one for me has got a couple of standout features. How do you go here, Alan? Is it a track that you like?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love the place, Pete. I've raced there in just about everything, including shopping trolleys, I think. And it's just a brilliant circuit as far as I'm concerned. I love it. I can understand. I've seen races here where it's been a bit hard for people to get by, and where the draft train has meant that it's been in the past when the draft was strong. It was it could form a bit processional.
Yeah.
But in truth, the circuit is historic. It's laden with treasures, and it's just a pleasure to drive around for me.
Yeah, we've got a 19-degree track at the minute, which means it's going to be good and grippy for those people that are out here on track. We've got about 7 minutes worth of practice still to go. Jason Landry, as an update, has switched to the Elantra. I decided not to get the penalty book out and dock him the points. What would be the point? We've got 11. No, we've now got 12. Jamie Jeffrey has just joined us for the CCR car. So yeah, we'll go on board with Jason. Hopefully he'll complete this plus one extra. He is currently the fastest man who's put on fastest person, sorry, who's put on a time. He was not happy with the Honda, in my opinion. He was very, very quick with it, Alan, but he's decided he's going to defect to the Hyundai Elantra. What do you make of that move?
Yeah, it does surprise me a bit because he's shown tremendous pace.
Yeah.
But then I guess if you're confident in your pace with one car, you're going to be confident with your pace in another. And I'm a fan of the Elantra anyway, so.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's a completely different car.
Yeah, really,
in
very
all ways.
different.
So we start here on the start-finish straight, head into the last source, the first turn on the course. This is sometimes a first gear corner, and it is in the Elantra. We can see it there on his dashboard. Get yourself a good, smooth exit. You're heading down the hill towards Rouge, which is the bottom of the hill. This is it here, Rouge, and then up and over Radion, which is the top of the hill, which is here. You can pick up a slowdown on both sides of the track there. You've got to be very careful. And then you head on to Kemmel Straight. He's holding the revs out and then switching up very late, Alan. That's a strange tactic, but it must be for a reason. End of Kemmel Straight. This is a massive drafting opportunity for everybody. Took it in here to Lecum, which is a series of two turns. Malmedy, which is this right-hander here. Take a bit of curb on the inside there. Don't let it punt you too far on the outside. Head down this very steep drop into Brussels. Hold it in second gear, tight as you can. Don't drift out. If you drift out, you lose time. Turn 9 has no name that I know of. Oh no, yeah, that's right. Loads of curb, loads of runoff. You don't get penalised anymore. It used to be brutal. You could pick up X's on basically every corner around here, Alan.
You could.
Yeah, and I did. Double gauche is the turns that we're in now. Usually fourth gear. I think he was in third. Can't see what gear he's in at the minute. As we go into La Fagne, which is the right-hander, then into Campus at the end of this next short straight. You go heavy on the brakes here, heavy on the brakes, get curb, run it out wide. I can't remember what that turn was called. Sorry, this next turn was called. That was campus behind us. And then we are going to take these big sweeping turns here, accelerating up through the gears. The turn ahead of us now, which is a double left-hander, is the start, and then this is it, the end of Blanchimont. He's nearly flat out round there. That's very good, very impressive. Down here, hammering it up the hill to the chicane. The incline helps you here. First gear into the chicane. It feels like you're going to wash out everywhere, and then you are back where you started at the beginning of the lap. Very clean and very tidy that from Jason Landry, Alan.
Oh, that was very impressive, wasn't it, Pete?
Yeah.
Really, what a line he had. He's got that pin through Blanchimont. Fantastic driving, and interesting. But he carried a load of pace up through Eau Rouge.
He did. That was excellent. We'll stay on board with him, see if we can repeat it, because there's not much time left in this session. 3 minutes. Anthony Jacobson, good evening to you on the chat. You really should come and join us in this league again. That's good. Good up and over Eau Rouge. Barely lifting at all. Holds out those revs though. That's interesting. I didn't know that was a feature. Right, let's go.
If he had another car in front of him, he would change earlier, of course.
Yes, very true. Yeah. He'd hit the tops of those revs a lot sooner. Sorry, I've got a bit mad there. Let's have a look at the standings. So, Big Mig leads the way on 278 points. We're on the column on the left. We only use the column on the right once we've got to halfway through the season, which is the drop week, I should say. Everyone gets to drop a week, whether you've raced it or not. If it's your worst score, it will get automatically dropped for you. David Johansen has stepped up to second place now. That's quite a leap, isn't it? He was excellent last time out, wasn't he? He performed so well at Indy Road. He was absolutely schooling the guys from Impulse Racing at certain points, Alan.
Yes, superb pace, and David was surprised. He had the honesty to say he was surprised how well he'd gone, didn't he? And good on him.
Yeah, he was virgin on the Stephen Walker. He's always lucky, even when he wins by 20 seconds. But I didn't go there. Sam Blees, multiple champion in third place, and then Jason Landry, who we were on board with just now, in fourth place. Jamie
Still very close, isn't it, Pete? Really, when you look at those.
Not a lot in it. Miguel has not had it all his own way in the first few races. He's been on the podium a lot, but so have other people, and that's what's kept it tight. This is going to be, it might not be the most populated of series that we've run. I think the next one when the next one starts after Christmas, that will be quite heavily populated. I think there's just a lot of people taking a season out and all at the same time this time, but we'll keep the beast alive. Right, teams Impulse Racing are away at the races and are head and shoulders above all of the others at the moment on 502 points. Hydro Race Racing Forces on 358 and Hydro Race Geodesic on 329. Sim Racing Grid on 254, not too far adrift, and then Team Chimera, which is just Jamie Wilson on 189.
Yes, which is very good for a single driver, of course.
Oh, very, very, very good. Yeah, that's tremendous. Right, driver of the meeting, the much coveted prize. David Johansen, 2 votes. Carl Hardy has a vote, and Mark Draper also has a vote. Mark Draper was excellent, and last time out, as was David Johansen. And then Sir Alan's Safe Driver Award, headed up by JB Dejoux, who's not with. Oh, he is with us. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, he's doing all right as well.
He's doing fantastic. He's doing the best drive I've ever seen, and what's more, he's clean with it. Look at this.
I know, 532 turns he's done with only 1 incident, and yes, he's been out for the last race week. However, he's up there. Fiona Siddons, always a nice, safe driver. She's only got 10 incidents in her 1,010 laps. Not many have done as many laps as Fiona, proving how safe she is. And then Per Hafstad, one of the two drivers, along with his teammate Vegard Olsen-Lear, who joined us just for one race week, but proved that they were safe drivers across the piece. They won't be joining us again by what they've said in the chat, in a private chat to me. They didn't feel they were competitive, but I don't think that that's a very fair assessment of what a league race is, Alan. We were discussing this before we started.
Yes, we were, and I'm disappointed to see the young lads go because full of potential, and certainly they can learn a lot here. But I do hope they keep in touch with the league and we can see them back again.
Yeah, and a good point you made when we were chatting. They can still join all the practice sessions. There's no limitation on that. But anyway, Mark Draper sat in the middle of those two. He's done one race week with us, and he's performed excellently well. That's how he got his driver of the maiden vote. And then you can see everybody else down in that order there. So that's how everybody's set up. We return now to qualifying. We have Jason Landry leading Miguel Freitas around the track. For those of you that are new to the league, if you've got a yellow banner in the windscreen and a yellow number plate, it means you are a previous champion. There are two on the grid, in the starting lineup today. One of them is following Jason Landry. This is Jason Landry's first season with us. His iRating suggests he is by far no stranger to iRacing, nor is Miguel, who is following him around at the moment. There's not much between them iRacing wise, and not much between them speed wise at the moment, as they go hooning it up the and over Eau Rouge, Radion, and down the Camel Straight. If you have not been a previous champion in the league, you end up with a white banner in the windscreen and white number plate on the side of your car, as Jason is sporting for us. I think, Alan, and I'll let you help me decide this, in the next season, in order to give that competitive edge, and we've discussed it a number of times, we will launch a Pro and an AM category within the TCR League. That should hopefully bring more people to our door. What do you think?
Oh, well, for me, I think that's a fantastic idea, Pete. I do, honestly. It will give half the field a real championship to aim for. You know, it makes the points and the whole thing a lot more meaningful for the whole field. And, you know, even I've got 3 trophies. I'm so proud of them. And I didn't have to do much to get them, but come to races and finish them.
Yeah.
You know, and I still managed to get prizes that I'm really proud of. Even me's got trophies, so that's a great thing, and it's a great encouragement for people, and I think it's a great idea.
No, all right, okay, that's good. It wasn't really worth doing it this season, sorry, purely for the size of the field. But I think when everybody returns to the fold after Christmas, at the start of the next iRacing season, and we launch season 15 of TCR, I think it's a worthwhile exercise. So look forward to that. All the bells and whistles and tools that are required to achieve that are already in place, so there's no issues there.
Oh, it's an exciting prospect, Peel, so I'm excited by that.
Cool, that's good. Let me see what's going on here. I have failed. I failed. Well, I don't know that I ever had a Veloster paint for Carl Hardy. I know that we had that upset with the paints and the issues with iRacing installing on new PCs, which afflicted me. So I do need them to upload their paints again for Carl and for Andrew Littler. You'll see them as both being in jet black cars.
But they retain their wheels, so...
They do, so we can tell who they are and where they are, so that's good. And we should focus upon that.
I think black looks very suitably threatening and wicked when you're approaching you in the rear windscreen.
Yeah, and I do feel that these two particularly are going to have a bit of a scrap tonight, Fiona and Andrew. That Camel Straight and some of the other straights stops people getting too far away from people, around their similar sort of pace. The draft around Spa is significant, isn't it?
Well, didn't we? We've had this discussion because didn't they? Once the toe was reduced, wasn't it?
It
Was
was.
it 2 seasons ago where they took a knife to it and chopped a large chunk off?
They did.
But as you're suggesting, at Spa, if there's any toe to be had, this is where you'll find it. That's for sure.
Yeah, and Fiona has just given us a practical demonstration of what I'm talking about. And I know Andrew let her go there, but it was still the draft that gave the slingshot manoeuvre there to Fiona. So where are we in terms of times? Sam Blees is at the moment at the top of the pile. I am going to have to step away from my rig for a moment, Alan. I apologise.
That's all right, Pete.
I will be back in a couple of minutes. Domestic and real life sometimes kick in the middle of a broadcast, so I'll be back very, very shortly, folks.
That's all right. You can leave things in safe hands. He knows he's got safe hands here with me, of course. And here I am watching Sam, because who wouldn't want to watch Sam going around? And he's got the purple lamp, you'll notice. He's going quickly. Well, that's good to see, because he's got his work cut out with Mr. Landry and Mr. Johansson. These chaps are quick, and look at that, Miguel. Honestly, it's so tight at the top, isn't it, at the moment? I'm interested to see what happens. This could go really well tonight, of course, but if the field gets split up, it could be a bit slow with only we've got 12 people on the grid. Fantastic. I'm quite excited about the news about having an amateur championship. If it might encourage some people to come in at the bottom end. Those chaps that were here last week, those nice young men, if they had a championship to fight for at their end of things and a few more drivers, that would be quite exciting, I think. So, Miguel has now done the purple. These guys don't muck about, do they? You can see how close the times are. Oh, there's Austin Knight, James Jeffrey. So it's great that people are coming out to support the league. It's a bit quiet this season, but this got a fantastic history. It has.
Right then, I am back. Apologies for that. But we'll get back to it now. So Austin...
You're overhuman, sweetie.
Yeah, true enough. Austin Knight says he's hurt his wrist in practice. He's going to be chilling and not fighting today. He's been very, very competitive and an interesting guy to watch race in that Hydra race, Racing Forces team. He's a lovely guy to speak to in the interview, that's for certain. So we wish his wrist all the best. I won't ask how he injured his wrist. Men with wrist injuries often get teased. I can't think why. But we will overlook that, let's say. Right, so we are in a place where Miguel has the run of the field at the moment. His teammate who is in front of him on track is behind him in the list of fastest times. And then Sam Blees.
Sam out from top to third in one go. So.
Yeah, crazy speed.
That's not even tenths of seconds, is it? It's kind of hundreds of seconds.
True, and they are doing a team qualifying, so they are towing each other round. Jason has just gone faster than Miguel, so it's all back on again between those two. David Johansson is racing alone. He's not got a draft, so he's unlikely to be able to monopolise on anything like that. As Jamie Jeffrey suddenly goes, and we've seen this in recent series, haven't we? Jamie Jeffrey can surprise us in terms of his pace, can't he?
Well, yes, he can, and he's an excellent racer, as we've seen many times. But On his day, he's really quick.
Yeah, very.
He is. And,
and he's nearly won the Safe Driver Award a few times as well. So even though he's quick, he's still safe.
Yeah, very good racer. Very good iRacer.
So, just talk through the format for anybody that's watching that's new. So we do a 20-minute race on 35% fuel with no mandatory pit stop. They do get a free repair if they end up damaging their car somewhat. And then we have a very short intermission of 5 minutes, where you will hear only words of absolute wisdom from myself and Alan, more from Alan than I. And then we shall have a 40-minute race with what is usually a mandatory pit stop, although Mr. Sam Blease has proven twice now, once under a full course caution race, that you can do this with no stops on certain tracks in certain conditions, and with a fair wind to carry you forward, Alan.
Yeah, so if you've got unburstable self-confidence and probably a wild streak.
Yeah. And I don't know that Spa is the sort of track where you can achieve that, because you've got heavy braking zones and very, very heavy acceleration zones. I don't see how necessarily you save a great deal of time and fuel on Camel Straight, for instance. Towards the end of it, of course, you can coast all the way in, but it's a long drag up that hill.
Yes, and there's a lot of pedal to the metal around here, isn't there?
Yep.
A lot of places where you're accelerating hard and you're coming into a hard corner, so it's hard braking, hard acceleration, an awful lot of it. It's hard on the cars, hard work for the drivers to maintain your concentration, and you don't want to get it wrong. It's a kind track in case if you lose it, there's only a few places where you'll get a really bad spin and damage your car badly. It's kind in that regard, but it's very easy to lose a lot of time.
It is. Mark Draper, is he moving up? He's steady in 5th at the moment.
Well, 233's great lap, isn't it?
I know, yeah. I mean, Miguel is in a bit of a different race at the minute, to be honest. Oh no, he's not. He's not that far ahead, is he? Really?
No,
David Johansson's put in an excellent time, and just put it up actually. Slotted himself into 3rd there. Only a third of a second behind Miguel, and nothing at all really behind Jason. And then Sam Blease almost nothing at all behind that.
Shocker block, look at that.
I know.
That's astonishing, isn't it?
If you are wondering, folks, why nobody's out on track, it's because this is a heat race. They will know now that if you're not already on a lap, you cannot complete your lap, because in heat races, qualifying will just chin you out of the session, so there's no point in getting on with it. However, the cars that are still on the track and still on a lap will gun it to the finish. Austin is one of them. Where is he at the minute? I'm trying to figure it out. Is he at Double Gauche? Yes. Yeah. It is.
Loopy.
It would help if I put a track map up, of course. Making his way through these big S's here towards college. Can't remember. Never remember the name of that campus, not college. Here it is. Yeah, he's well controlled. He's staying on those super fast lines, and I think that he can be a very competitive player. There you go. You see.
Blink.
Absolutely boots you out of the session.
It's disorientating as well when that happens.
It is, yeah. So, your pole man for tonight is Miguel Freitas for Impulse Racing. His teammate, Jason Landry, will join him on the front row. David Johansson will be on row 2 for Sim Racing Grid. In 3rd place next to Sam Blease for Hydro Race Geodressic Racing. And then Mark Draper on row 3 in 5th for SRL, Sim Racing League. Jimmy Jeffrey will be next to him for Coupes and Convertibles Racing, or CCR. 7th will be Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera. That's actually a good qualifying session for Jamie there. Austin Knight with a damaged wrist. We will say no more about that. We'll go off in 8th place for Hydro Race Racing Forces. Andrew Littler will go off 9th for Spiro by result. 10th will be Fiona Siddons for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. A returning Carl Hardy will go off 11th for safeguard by result. Lots of places for Carl to make up. And then JB Dejoux will bring up the rear of the field tonight. He didn't post the time, nor did Carl, which is why they're at the back. 12th and last for BSTV Esports Blue there. And again, places to make up from the start. Right, let's go and have a look here, because we'll be going to green as soon as Sam Blees joins us. Now, certain racers like to leave it to the very death of the gridding. Right, so David Ayres says it certainly works well in the Clio League I currently drive in. I did think that David was going to rejoin us for this season of this league, but not to be, sadly. Hopefully he'll join us again in future seasons, or maybe even later in this season, who knows. So, we're going racing.
Green.
And we are go.
Smoke at the back there. Somebody's heating their tyres up.
Yeah, I think it was Fiona. Off the grid slowly.
Very unusual for you to make a bad start.
Yeah, Andrew Littler having a good look down the inside of a few cars there. Didn't want to do anything with it though, oddly. Just trying to keep it clean, I think. Sam Blees just took him back in there as we go into the last source. And then up and over Radion. That was quite a lot of curb from some of them.
Oh, and be careful there.
Yeah, there's a few borderline ones, I would say, in that little troop. We should see now everybody fan out across the track, and we are seeing it. Let's choose the better camera as they try and break the toe. But Miguel Freitas proving that I don't need no toe. He's away. Sam Blees on the inside of David Johansson. That's a lovely competitive overtake, that. Very clean. Just a bit further back, Jamie Wilson and Jamie Jeffrey, battle of the Jamies. We've seen these two battling a lot. Expect that to go on for a number of laps, folks. Hopefully I've not just cursed that.
Well, you know what these 20 minutes is like, Pete. It's just non-stop, flat out, pedal to the metal, and you know.
Yeah, we've seen it a few times. Look at this. JB got an absolute slingshot off turn 9. Straight into Dublicoche. That's Austin with his damaged wrist that he's just passed. And that's a done deal. Fiona still in contention, and Andrew Littler not far behind there, I don't think. Should come into the now.
It's
There he is.
unfortunate to get him stalled at that La Source.
Yeah, he got a bit choked out, didn't he?
Yeah, that was very unfortunate, because you know, once the gaps form, it's especially here, I would say it's impossible to get back on.
Yeah.
It's just physically impossible
I would
with the
say
car,
that.
or the other cars in the tow.
Yeah. That was
It's,
very wide there from Jamie Wilson. Enables Jamie Jeffrey to get on the inside of him through the first part of this sequence of turns, and we're now heading to Blanchimont. He's going to have to back out of this. He can't hold it. Oh, and that's a painful exit there. Very painful exit for Jamie Wilson, that is. There's a lot of broken bits on that car. He's going to be towing it. I don't see a wheel pointing in the right direction at all. It looks like his car's been in a mangle.
Dear.
And that's Fiona.
Prix in bold as well.
Somebody greased the track back there. We're going to have a look at that.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there, really. That was a bit odd.
Not it. It must be this. Right, yes, this is it. My apologies. So, he is alongside... Oh, yeah. And that is a high-speed, high-impact crash.
So where's Fiona?
Fiona comes into view now, and then gets grass on the left.
Incident.
Yeah, separate incident. May have been a bit foxed by what happened, but yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Do you know what? Let's have another look at that, because it's as much. So Jamie is alongside, definitely. Let's just do this, and we'll. Oh, sorry, that was terrible.
He just like, didn't he just turn in a bit too soon? Is it as simple as that?
Well, the trees aren't helping me really, are they? Do you know what I mean?
No. Can't see it, but there was a coming to go. I don't think there was anywhere for Jamie to go.
No.
Jamie Jeffries.
Once more with feeling. So Jamie.
Well, he's on the right hand side. There's nowhere he can
He had
go.
about another half a foot of tarmac in a white line. I think that's just two drivers not giving up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't see that either one is necessarily to blame.
No, I think it was a bit unfortunate the way Jamie's car got caught, to be honest, to be spun round.
Yeah. So that's enough of that. I am seeing lots of drivers going off track, in inverted commas. These will be the famous Spa off tracks for which this track has been notorious in the past, and it's definitely improved. But it can ruin your chances at a Safe Driver Award, Alan.
It can, and you know, the thing about it is the off tracks can creep up on you, Pete, when you're not watching.
Yeah.
And you know, you can get very close to a DQ without realising it, and you know, like flags flying everywhere. It can be dangerous. You have to have your wits about you. I'm a one for getting caught out with black flags, not seeing them, you know, leading to bad things.
Yeah, yeah. I've done it myself. David Ayres says that the Pro-Am would definitely encourage him to return. So that seals it for me to get David Ayres back in this car. I think it's a worthwhile decision.
Yes, yeah. As long as you realise you'd have to have the interior extended so it fits snuggle.
He says there was nothing to race for with a lack in ability. Certainly works well in the Clio League. That's what he was referring to. Right, I get it. He says he's watching on his PS5. Call of Duty's doing a huge update. Glad to know what you're doing. And then, right, so Jamie Wilson should have left more room on his right. I do think that that's a massive feature of it. There was an initial bit of contact. He obviously couldn't steer left enough to correct it. He's been caught out, I think. I would have thought Jamie Jeffrey might have backed out, but he's a real racer. They don't back out, do they, Alan?
No.
It's about racing for
two
position.
Jamies, you know, they're not going to back out. It's normally, it comes to a reasonable, amicable solution, but we were just unfortunate in that combination of circumstances, especially on that corner. You know, it's a dodgy little corner at the best of times. To be honest, you're going like the clappers.
Yeah.
You're trying to do it without lifting, really, because you don't want to wash any pace off there. You need to carry all your pace through. It's a long run down to the hairpin.
Yeah.
The bus stop there.
It really is. This boy here, Carl Hardy, already up 5 places from his start position. You can't argue with that. Too good.
Yes, this is the pure pace that Carl's been showing recently. And not just in this league, he's been doing it all over. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the tracks where when you're in the race, the track map doesn't work. Which is odd, but there you go.
How peculiar.
Yeah. So, David Johansson,
that.
super late lunge on the brakes. He's going to get this repaid, is he? Because Sam's going to have a great drive out of that final part of the chicane.
Well, that was a bold move by David, but goodness, is he going to be on the inside here? Yes, he's going to.
He's keeping him as honest as he can, but that's sorted out now.
Wow.
But we are going to jump on board here with David Johansson because I think we're going to see some serious drafting going up and over Radion and down Camel Straight now. He's in the prime place to get... he's had to lift. It must be the heavy weight of the fuel at the moment.
Well, probably a little bit tow as well, carrying just that extra mile an hour.
Yeah, lifting the air off the front of the car as well. He's not absolutely drawing right up to the back of Sam's car. He's having a little look to see where the corner is, if nothing else. Showing his mirrors. He has gained time as he's gone through that section. Thought he would gain more, to be honest.
I'm not sure that he was aiming to put a move on him. Maybe he thinks it's a bit early for that. But
he didn't think it at the chicane. He was like right up a drain pipe there.
Well, perhaps he's thinking maybe a more considered approach.
Yeah. So,
well, we shall see. But yeah, what they don't want to do is take their eyes off these two.
no, I know these two, when David and Sam go battling, it means that the gap to the Impulse Boys grows now.
Exponentially, have you noticed? I mean, crikey.
Yeah. At the moment, Jason Landry is closing in on the back of Miguel's car. Ooh, that was Mark Draper getting it fully sideways.
Well, that was a great save.
It was.
Fucking driving.
He's in Tokyo, doesn't he? I think Fiona's crashed again and been in the pits for quite a long time now, which hopefully she can get her car sorted and get back out onto the track. At least for the next race, even if it's not for this one. We are approaching halfway in this race already with all the action and replays and crashes.
Yes, well, there's really no coming back in this race if you have a big incident of any kind, is there? You know, you can't afford to visit the pits. You just
too big a track, isn't it?
Yeah,
far too big. So,
but they're even huge track and only 12 drivers, they're still making this very interesting.
Yeah,
there's plenty of spirit out there, let me tell you.
Yeah, I thought David Johansson might make contact with the back of Sam's car there, but he didn't.
Well, I think Sam will have his eye ahead as well on Miguel.
Yeah.
And Jason, won't he? So, and well, these are canny racers. I just wonder if he's just sitting there letting the clock tick down, see if he can close the gap. And maybe, and you never know, there might be an accident or something may happen between the front two.
Definitely. Carl Hardy, like I was saying, up 5 places. JB up 4. Austin still in contact with these guys. Then we've got a bit of a jump back to Andrew. Obviously a jump to Jamie because he's been to the pits to get his car rebuilt.
Looks a lot better now, though.
It does, doesn't it? Now all the wheels point in the same direction. And then Fiona, still in the pits at the moment, sadly. I think this is going to be the most heated of the battles, but Jamie Jeffrey is certainly piling on buckets full of pressure on Carl Hardy now. We're going to be.
Well, that's an interesting battle for me.
Mark Draper's just in front of them, thinking,
yes,
keep off me, keep away from me. Good points here in 5th place from Mark Draper.
There'll be a trio very shortly by the looks of that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Unless Jamie decides he's going to do something about Carl before Carl can get onto the back of Mark Draper.
Well, we shall see.
We shall.
You're going to have to have serious pace to put it over on Carl these days, I can say that.
Yeah. David has also said, not sure Jamie was alongside enough to get a call from the spotter. Possible, but he was definitely alongside him. There was contact, wasn't there? So who knows though? I don't know whether there's a certain point.
I'm pretty sure they were aware of each other's where they were.
You would think they're very, very skilled racers,
experienced guys.
Yeah.
You generally know when somebody's around, don't you?
Yeah. I am not joking. The amount of entries on my event tracker that say somebody went off track, somebody went off track, somebody went off track. Nobody make any jokes about somebody isn't racing, as in someone called somebody. But yeah, it's just a litany of it. Oh, Andrew Littler.
Oh, that's going to be.
Littler. How did Andrew Littler overtake Austin Knight? Because Austin Knight's not even on the track anywhere.
Oh, he's out.
I think
he's must have retired
again. No, I think he.
Oh,
hang on.
It's not because his wrist has got the better of him. He's had to retire.
Let's have a quick look. Because remember what happened last time? His car kind of went straight on. Not this time. He's got that tank slapper going on. Oh no, he has. He's vanished. I think that's some sort of technical failure.
That car just vanished, didn't it? There's no. It couldn't have quit out or got anything because he was still in movement. So
Yeah, you can't reset the car, can you?
no, not
Right.
by emotion. So that was definitely a weird one.
Oh, hang on.
Well, no doubt Air from Austin. He's a great communicator.
He's already on it. Spa 8 his
PC.
PC, right? Okay.
Did my break.
Yeah. So his
Oh,
PC died because maybe the graphic requirements for it are too great. David having a good stare down the inside of Samblees there. It's worth doing. He's going back to play Cyberpunk now, says Austin. Not going to bother with the second race because if his PC can't handle it for a 20-minute race, then the chances are it's not going to handle it for a 40. I get it. It's a shame though, real shame. Some good racing going on there, and especially if his wrist is bust, it's not going to be much fun, is it? But thank you for turning up in the first place, Austin, with that damaged wrist.
Yes, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week, matey.
Yeah, definitely.
It feels better soon. I've had a broken wrist, so I know about that.
Yeah.
Mind you, then I broke my arm to go with it, and then my shoulder just to make a full set.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah. No, he hates Spa. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we're going to do centripetal circuit for you next time, Austin, so no worries with that one. Right, boys at the front are getting together now. So Jason has caught his teammate. Will he do anything about him? Not sure. He's got time to do it. It's 5 minutes to race. These two still together, and David is looking very threatening.
They've just got that a few tenths slower than the Impulse guys, and look at the difference it makes, because they're all in that same second, and it's like the crowd is around it, like 32.5, and that's gapping the 32.6.
There's enough there. Oh, hang on. That was an overtake on Camel Straight for the lead. We will have to watch that again. Let's have a go at this. This might be a battle to the end. So this is a lovely bit of draft.
It's Elantra versus Civic.
It is. Look at the legs that the Elantra's got on that Civic. He's absolutely stormed past him. He's let him go into the braking zone, of course, but...
Wasn't the Civic being accused of revving out?
Yeah, capping out at top revs, yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's what's happening there.
Maybe. David Johansson flashing his lights at Samblees. We know that's not allowed, but never mind. And then Jamie Jeffrey and Carl not able to catch up with Mark Draper.
Yeah, not getting on to Mark at the moment. I suspect that's a combination of Mark really trying hard to stop them from doing that, and then really trying hard to get onto him.
Yeah.
But Carl got one eye behind him because he's got Jamie Jeffrey lodged in his mirror as well.
Yeah, it's
it's interesting stuff.
And we've seen this in V8s. We've had a few dry seasons with drivers in V8s here and there, and you often get more dramatic racing because people can focus fully on the cars in front of them. And we're getting the same sort of thing.
We're getting
here.
This incredible peering off in 2s and 3s, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
It's amazing how, with such tiny differences, a track like Spa can spread the cars out.
Right, these
because
two.
It's just fractions of a second.
These two are definitely closing on Mark Draper now.
It's one of those elastics, though, isn't it? It goes longer, it stretches out, it comes back. He makes a little bit, he loses a little bit.
Right, that is the white flag. White flag is out.
Oh, no. So I wonder if Mark's just feeling comfortable now. He's got his white flag, and he's just got to get to the end of this lap in good order. I'm sure he knows how to do that.
Right, this is the moment, really, for David Johansson. Samblees bolted to the right-hand side of the track. That's the right thing to do. Mark Draper trying to hold him to that right-hand side. This is going to get tasty.
Oh, someone's got to get on the brake here. Surely someone's got the best of this.
Don't know. David's still got a little bit of car in the way. Just a little bit.
Now, that's what should have happened with the Jamie, shouldn't it? That's
Yeah.
what I was expecting to happen with the Jays, you know, maybe
Bit
a
of a
slight
rub,
contact,
yeah.
but
Bit
get
of a
back.
rub, yeah, and get
Yeah.
back on it. This is definitely going to be taken to the line, this one. Apologies to the Impulse boys, but you just not quite entertaining enough compared to this.
I think, oh, look, Jason's just done and popped in the purple one.
He
So
has.
he's trying to get away from Miguel. He's not hanging around, is he?
No. Oh, it's good this. Oh, hang on. Oh, Jamie
Oh,
Jeffrey.
that's a big lap he's done. He started putting him in the ones, yeah, 179.
Yep.
Wow, you know, they're getting that 232's. Well, there we've got a 232. Carl's done a 232.
I know. He's just been overtaken by Jamie Jeffrey into Double Gauche, which is not normally a place you'd take somebody. Oh, I don't know which
what
battle
we were
to
saying,
look at.
Jamie was lurking there, wasn't he? And
yeah.
oh goodness.
So these two.
He's done very well to get by Carl.
Yeah, very.
They got that. Jason's putting purple laps up. Miguel's chasing hard because they'll all want the fastest lap for the race. It's
Yeah, well, it looks like Miguel is holding station unless he gets some mega drive. These two holding station. Nicely raced.
Yeah.
And Carl not able to get back onto the back of Jamie Jeffrey, but I think he gave it a good shot because he was off track on that last lap. And over the line there, so
wow, some position.
Yeah,
it looked like they would have enjoyed that good racing though, and that's well done.
Yeah,
well done, JB
over the line. Andrew Littler, didn't see his name popping up in the off tracks, you know. I think he's
done a
good job there.
He's got very tight with his off tracks just recently. He has. He's not giving very many away.
No.
And that with this extra bit of pace he's found recently, it's been great. But it's really put him in the other leagues that he races in. It's really put him in among the cars, you know, in a way that he hasn't quite here, but he's on his way. Do you know what I mean? It's with an amateur league, this would really make this back end of this field an exciting place for these guys. I do hope it works out, and well, you know, you can only give it your best shot, can't you? You can put the thing in and see how it works out, but I do hope it works out for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Jamie Wilson somewhat delayed after finding the wall or showing himself the wall, if we determine it that way. And that is the last car over the line. So, quite an eventful first race here at Spa. Let's see if the results will come up for me this time. Yes, they do. Excellent. And we'll go and have a look at some. We are already on scenery. So, Jason Landry took home the honours and won round 5 here at Circuit de Spa. Miguel Freitas, his teammate, followed him home. Absolutely nothing.
4 seconds.
Really. I know, 0.2 of a second. And then 4 seconds was the gap back to Sam Blees for Geodesic Racing, who rounded out the podium in 3rd. David Johansson was 4th for Sim Racing Grid. 5th was Mark Draper. Great result there. Kept ahead of the battle between Jamie Jeffrey and Carl Hardy for 6th and 7th respectively. JB Deju for BSTV Sports Blue finished 8th. Andrew Littler finished 9th for Spiro Bar result. Jamie Wilson finished 10th for Team Chimera. Austin Knight didn't finish in the end. His internet spat him out, and he doesn't like Spa anyway with a broken wrist or an injured wrist, whatever's going on there. And then Fiona didn't finish last. I don't think she got back out on track.
Yeah, I think we're well into the race when she was off, so she probably gave that one best.
Yeah, I think so. Right. We did.
That was a very exciting little race.
It was.
It was.
Liked it.
And but we could see the domination of the Impulse guys. We can.
Yeah.
But it's amazing with the times so so close, how they can just eke a gap out. It just shows you the consistency of the driving. Where you can just turn those laps out, lap after lap.
Yeah, I was very impressed with David Johansson there. I think he's definitely got the pace to stay with those Impulse guys and with Sam. I think if they hadn't bickered so much at the start, they could have kept with the Impulse boys for a bit longer. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here, because this is going to be obviously a full reverse grid. We reverse the top 12, and since we're not going to get 12 cars with Austin not being part of race 2, it's going to be a little bit different. I think Miguel started at the back in the last 2 races as well.
Well, he will keep winning races, and
Well, yeah, this is his punishment.
Is that today he wasn't the sharp end.
No, this is true. Actually, you're absolutely right. Jason Landry on your screens now in the Impulse Elantra was the one that brought home the top points. I'm just going to try and see if he pits the car, because that is a feature here of Spa, is this pit lane entry.
Goodness me, which pits are we using? Oh, heavens.
GP, so not the ridiculous endurance pits, but
thank heavens.
Yeah, you peel
it's
off to the right,
isn't it, Pete? Look at this.
It's very narrow, and it's concrete. It's not, it's not going to give if you hit it. And then you're already down to your pit lane speed, back at those yellow cones. It's a long time to be off the top speed, so
very long pit lane, isn't it?
Big sacrifice, this.
We like that pit lane in an endurance race where there's a lot of cars parked there, and it's getting full use. But that turn in from the bus stop, how many times have we seen people into that wall there?
Loads.
They're coming in just slightly too hot, and they whack into the wall.
Yeah, we've seen it plenty of times. Right, I'm going to find where my bottle opener got dropped, because it fell off my desk. All right,
you're not buying the tops off your bottles anymore, Pete.
No. Oh dear. Right, 1 second.
When Pete was an Angel, he used to bite the tops off his bottles all the time. Normal thing,
Found it.
Well done.
Yeah, that's good. Had a bit of a strange noise, a little badoom noise a minute ago, which is a bit disconcerting. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, you don't want strange noises.
No, we don't. Fiona is on track, so great that she's going to be joining us for the feature race. Hopefully she won't get spooked by Jamie Wilson and Jamie Jeffrey getting together again. And we have just gone checkered, so I need to get on with reading names. Oh yeah, so here we go. Grid. So, Fiona will be the pole lady for this second race for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. Austin Knight will go off second next to her for Hydro Race Racing Forces. I better just do the names. Jamie Wilson will go off third. Andrew Littler will go off fourth. Fifth will be JB. Carl will go off sixth. Jamie Jeffrey will go off seventh. Eighth will be Mark Draper. Ninth will be David Johansson. Sam Please will go off 10th. Miguel will go off 11th. And bringing up the rear of the field will be Jason Landry. He will be definitely, yeah. So Austin Knight will be a gap on the grid. iRacing is going to wait for him to join, even though he's never going to. So we shall put our cameras on JB.
If Andy gets a good start here, this will be interesting.
Yeah, he was brilliant in that first race week, wasn't he? He's not got away spectacularly quickly, though, sadly. That was Mark Draper giving a bit of an elbow to somebody, and I don't know who it was now. It might have been Carl, actually. Ooh. There's a bit of shoulder charging going on back here.
Yes.
Two result races side by side, and Andy is making his car nice and wide. Up and over Radion. And now there's the tow train. Mark Draper there pops out of the tow on Fiona. I don't know whether
It's
Fiona.
so exciting when they're going over. There's room for three inside. You know, the cars are intermingling. There's fast cars going past slower cars.
Yeah, Fiona keeping well out of the way of everybody, funnily. Not wanting a bar of any of that. JB Dejoux, nicely done. He's up a couple of positions.
Jamie Wilson is filling his boots here.
He is, and he needs to, because there's some fast drivers about to try and get into his postcode. So Andrew Littler staying with these super fast guys through some of these corners.
I think Anne stands a good chance of that. If you can just stay in the tow, it's the essential tow, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, and this is just what you don't need to do.
Well, he's going to get a decent... Oh, no, he's not. He hit that little... it's not a landmine, but it might well be. Might as well be.
Oh, it just forces you then into taking bigger chances to get back on.
Yeah.
With no tyres. That's... You know, it just raises the risk factor because, you know, you don't want the gap to form. You've really forced into trying to keep on, and that's risky then. But, yeah, it's also very exciting.
Isn't it just? So, we've not had a massive amount of forward movement from the super fast guys. They're all up around about 4 places, but I think 2 of them were pretty much gifted by Andrew and Fiona. Obviously Austin automatically relegated to the back of the field. Excuse me, I got hiccups. That was a lunge on Carl, and it didn't work from Jason Landry, but he's going to get a decent amount of pace into La Source, and if he's brave on the brakes, which we know he can be. No, he's not even trying it. Right, let the drivetrain.
Well, he'll be trying down here, won't he? It's such an essential corner. You've got to carry your pace through Ossos. If you can't come out of there clean, the seconds are just ticking into the red the whole length.
Mark Draper had to correct massively going up and over Radion.
Aerial business as well, just there, Pete. As you know, it's just one of the dangerous places on the circuit.
Yeah, we're all paired off again, Alan. There's a pair, and then a trio, and then a pair, and then a pair.
Yeah, it's happening in no time at all.
Yeah. Sam Blease absolutely hoovered up a load of time to these 3, because they're scrapping, of course. They're getting in each other's way, slowing each other down. David Johansson getting a bit of hip check from JB there.
The impulse guys will be loving this. They'll be loving to see everybody having a good race in front of them while they just poodle along.
And the 2 Jamies right at the very front are together again. Let's see if they can...
Well, let's hope they just... Mark's there as well, you know. If they could get on and work it.
Whoa, Sam
and
Blease.
just try and keep the gap.
Where's Sam Blease going?
That's a heck of a line, Sam, around there, mate.
He needs to check his specs. Thinks there's a second track round there.
Could have come out worse, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Considering the diversion he went on.
He's just put another 3 miles on the tyres. Right, so can these 2 get through Blanchimont without any incidents? Jamie's decided left-hand side is good this time.
So he's going to attack. Well, as long as they sort it out, because, of course, you know... Well, it's...
Oh, Jamie Wilson! He did it, he tried it, Oh, he's done it! That's brilliant. Absolutely hung it, sliding sideways, but he's kept that lead. He's going to get the points for it too. Nice work. And this little rabble comes piling through this corner. Jason Landry doesn't have anywhere to try and overtake any of these 3. They are literally covering all points on the track. And that is Sam Blease lifting JB off La Source. Has he done it though? Because JB Oh, he's just about done it, yeah.
It's just about done it, but
David Johansson, like a rat up a drain pipe, is going to try. Is he? No. I thought he was going to try and do 2 for 1. And look at Jason Landry come now on JB. Look at the speed he's got.
Oh.
Good grief.
I mean, JB's wasn't the best line you've ever seen.
No, it wasn't. It was a bit sketchy. He couldn't do much about it, though. David Johansson had him offline.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was in a bad place on the track. And on a part of the track, really don't want to be in a bad place, to be honest.
Yeah.
But,
right.
yeah, the overspeed was impressive. But, JB was there. I was fighting with the big guys. It was great to see him there, getting in the way of some people who wouldn't normally get in the way of.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch this, though. So, we left this battle to watch what was going on behind it and missed this. Jamie Wilson had a slowdown out of Blanchimont, and I had to serve it going over the line, so that's what's going on there. And it's just getting overtaken now by Miguel, or Miguel's on the damn good go at it at least, and he's managed to do it there before they turn left towards.
Painful for Jamie. Painful for Jamie, but hang on, Jamie lad. It's toe there for you.
Oh, and he'll stick with it, definitely. Right, the lead is being contested again. This is Mark Draper on the right. Again, into Blanchimont.
And look at the pace these chaps have got.
It scares me, this. Mark Draper, a bit offline, is giving up a lot of time. And look at that Civic coming at him.
Oh, where did he come from? He's got a turbo on there.
Yeah, I mean, Mark's line was massively... Oh!
Whoa!
Lovely racing Sam into the back of Jamie there.
Oh, what a line that was run there.
Unreal, that. Do you know what? I took the cap off my bottle of beer about 1 second before the race started. 8 minutes I've been holding it in my hand, staring at the screen.
Well, no, you've been warming your bottle up as well.
I have, yeah. It's not good. Right.
Well, it's still a really good train together.
They're all together. The only time you get a gap is there's a little one here between Jason Landry and JP, and then a little one back to Carl. Then the next one is a bigger jump back to Andrew, but he's not massively off the pace. He should be visible there just at the top of the screen. Here we go. Sam Blees on David Johansson. These two inseparable in that first race. And we hope for another, 31 minutes of this?
It's great for Sam to have somebody to... he hasn't got his mate Spencer here, has he? His soul brother. So it's great for him to have somebody to have a go at, because there's no team order to them two.
No. Spencer, another one having a season off. Quite a few having this season off. But like we said before, we're going to keep it all going. What's this?
Yeah, well, they'll come back full of energy, and that's going to be exciting. And we've got so many good drivers now associated with the league.
Yes.
If they'll come back together, it's going to be magnificent. If we have a split it so they've got 2 competitions going at once, I think that's going to be great, because you might well attract a few more people at the bottom end then. We shall see.
Yeah, we've got kind of a battle of 3 at the very front, 2 and then a gap to Mark Draper, and then this battle of 4 is just incessant. This is crazy. David Ayres says, I think Fee may have had a slowdown on that one. I don't doubt that. You can easily pick one up going over radio, get too much curb on the left hand side, and the iRacing gods will punish you.
Yes, some of them are quite a big stick these days, some of these slowdowns, 3 and 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is, fierce.
Piling through this corner here, and everybody shuffles about. My timing screen's gone mad, but everybody's ended up where they were. Have we got a curb cam on this track? No, we don't. It's a shame.
Oh, it's a shame. It surprises me a bit as well. You'd think this
Yeah.
would be a natural place to have one.
It would. I'll have to try and make one for next time we visit. Right, so the top three absolutely together. This is Jamie Jeffrey, Miguel Freitas and Mark Draper. Mark Draper is showing up really well in this one.
Doing really another great drive, and so is Jamie.
Yeah,
So we've got a different flavour at the front, which is nice to see.
it is.
It's nice to see these other drivers putting on such a great performance.
Yeah.
There's nothing fluky about any of this driving by these chaps.
No way.
Pure good driving.
David Johansson and Sam Blees. This is going to either end in absolute mutual respect or complete and utter tears and handbags at dawn. I don't know what it's going to be just yet.
Wow. I think there's plenty of respect there already.
Yeah. Oh, I've got the track map now. You see how long it took for that to come up?
You've got tied electrons.
Yes. David saying, can we pause the race, please, because Scary Mary wants a cup of tea. It's a difficult one to look away from. It really is.
You have to ask them.
Right, Miguel.
The pit wall.
Miguel's had enough of following people. Oh, Jamie Jeffrey got a big piece of curb there.
Well, he's not the first one we've seen doing that.
No.
So, yeah, there's a few been afflicted with that today.
Yep. I think that's about the third car we've seen have that particular issue. If he can stay with him, which is no small task, it has to be said, then there's a chance of getting a podium here for Jamie Jeffrey. He's been sniffing around podiums before. He's been on one that I can remember. So
yeah, I think he has.
He's got it in him.
For sure.
David Johansson moved away from Sam Blees.
Miguel is already in the purple.
Oh my God, Jamie Wilson. Oh dear me. He's going to get mobbed now. Sam Blees, 2 positions, 1 corner.
I know. They're all in the pits here now.
Yeah, Jason Landry will think he's made a mistake here because he's following another car into the pits so close. It's not going to help you, that's for sure. Really, you want free space in front of you when you pit, don't you, Alan? When you're not choking up behind somebody.
I guess he doesn't want to let him out of his sight, Pete.
No, Fiona's decided to peel off to the pits as well.
It's interesting, the pit stop thing. Some people don't think this thing through. Wow. They have a great...
Did you see that?
Yeah. Look, well, they went in like that and they came out like that.
Yeah. That was
crazy.
So,
got a bit of... He's filling his boots. He's trying to get away here. He's made a tiny gap, look.
Yeah. Miguel not getting away from Jamie Jeffrey just yet. Jamie proving what sort of racer he is, a tenacious one. Then these two, Sam Blees and Jamie Wilson. Then we've got Carl Hardy chased by JB. It's funny, they were in the chat the other day saying that they were going to end up racing together, and they are doing. And then Andrew Littler doing his own thing, racing his own race. And then the first of the pitted cars. This is Mark Draper, who's got himself a tiny gap over Jason at the moment.
Tiny, well, he's closing it.
He is.
It was a short-lived thing, but it was good. And Mark was, very alert to the chance and just jumped on the chance to get a couple of seconds. And it's good to see that. But
well, I do think
they all camel trained into the pits, didn't they? So they like the long. They obviously won't go for the long fight. They were happy in each other's company. And
yeah, this is what happened when they all decided to leave the pits at exactly the same time. You'll see Mark Draper leave his pit box first. Oh no, those two went at different times, but then this happened. Oh, God, you can't get any closer than that, Alan.
No, well, people unwilling to give way, and that was the race. You can see the race being decided by the pit lane wall. That's,
yes. Yes. Right, more visitors. Jamie Wilson and Carl Hardy have decided to visit pit road. This is the time for them.
More purple by Miguel.
More purple, yeah. And lots of it as well. He's just lit up Sector 2 and Sector 3 as best lap times or best sector times.
I think this is the first time he's had a bit of clear space in front of him this evening.
Yeah.
He's just, I think he's just stretching out now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Settling into his rhythm, you know. But we know how lethal that is, to be honest.
Look at that. Jamie Wilson's come out right on Jason Landry. So Jamie doing a great job of timing a pit stop very nicely to stay in the draft train, in the traffic, without losing time. I do think that David and Jason lost a bit of time with the way that they pitted the cars.
Yes, it wasn't the smoothest pit entry I've ever seen, I have to say that.
No. So, battles raging. Jason Landry and Mark Draper. Mark Draper going defensive into Brussels. That can get you a nasty line in the middle of the corner, but he's done very nicely there.
Yeah, the downhill catches people out with your braking there, doesn't it? You know?
It's dead easy.
Really, yeah. And, you know, like you say, if you don't stay tight, it's amazing how it costs you. And it's so hard to keep it tight. It's just one of the... I think it's actually probably the bit I find the hardest on the old circuit. Consistently, I find that hard to get around there and keep it clean and keep it tight and know I've done a good job on it. Just know I've done a good job on it, because I don't often feel that way when I've gone around there.
No. Jason Landry trying to go around the inside line on Mark Draper at Double Gauche, but Mark Draper too wise for that. These two here pulling away from David and Jamie Wilson behind.
Well, you know, Mark's very motivated at the moment.
He is. Jason getting him into Blanchimont. Those two behind are now side by side. This is David on Jamie. Oh, and David's overshot that chicane.
Jamie's going to slow down.
Well, Jamie should get a run. I don't think there's a slowdown there, but David's slammed the door fully shut on that side of the track. There is an opportunity here for Jamie to do something about this, but it's a cutback situation, and David's just going to park it on the apex.
David's rescued it. Yeah, he rescued that, but could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, but Jamie is now
late on the brakes, wasn't he, because of the threat, so you can tell that he's feeling... he's got Jamie's hot breath on his neck and he can feel it.
He can, yeah. Jamie lost out a bit there. He was off the gas a little too much because of the aero push, lifting the air off the front of his...
He's got serious dose of proximity at the moment. I don't know.
Tony Walker. Sorry, go on.
Like, I don't often spend a lot of time driving this close to other cars.
No,
not me. It's not something I'm very comfortable with, to be honest.
No, there's something going on here. I think Mark Draper wanted down the inside of Andrew Littler there, but he wasn't able to do it. And well, these are all on the same lap. It's just that Andrew owes us a pit stop. As Miguel lights up the timing screens yet again. Can't look away from these battles. Sorry, Tony Walker on the chat saying almost death. Yep, we've seen almost death and death tonight in equal measure. Mark Draper through on Andrew Littler. David Johansson next behind Andrew. These little battles a little broken up at the moment, a little fragmented, but they'll soon be back together, you watch. What Tony didn't hear was that we will be doing Pro-Am for the next season. Not enough drivers this season, but we're confident of returning field next season. That Veloster seems to slide sideways through Bonchim on every single lap. It doesn't matter really who's driving it either. Andrew Littler staying in this.
Race, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy's doing a really great job. He's been by himself a lot, so he's got a bit of traffic. We know that they've done their pit stops and he hasn't, but he's taking the opportunity to actually spend a bit of time with other cars. I don't blame him.
Yep. He's certainly giving David Johansson a bit of a race right now. Oh, bit of door banging. Bit of Rubbins racing. Going up here, up and over Radion.
Whoa!
I think David may well have got away with that in terms of an off-track slowdown. Andrew falls back in. Got a good bit of racing going in there.
Oh, catching him up.
He is, yeah. I don't think we'll see the same levels of resistance. Yeah, Carl's been in. Yeah.
Carl's pitted.
Right, this is up with the cars that have not pitted. So this is Miguel in your foreground, just leaving it. Jamie Jeffrey and the unicorn-powered Elantra, and Sam Blees in the trio car.
Don't you think they're doing a good job of keeping Miguel inside? Because he went and pushed out, didn't he? Because he was really pushing hard on that. He was doing those purple laps, consecutive purple laps.
He's still doing them. He's still doing it. He's just done purple sector 2. He's not holding back.
No. That's why I'm kind of thinking that they're doing a very good job of managing the gap. Because the way he's pushing on, I would have thought he'd actually pulled out a bit more than that.
Yeah, so Sam Blees.
And fighting, you think that's going to be slowing them down, but it clearly isn't slowing them down that much.
No. Sam Blees is looking to get past Jamie Jeffrey here. I think one of them will peel to the pits, maybe? No. I expected one of them to go to pit road, but neither of them did. And
they're playing the long game, aren't they, obviously?
Yeah.
They're kind of committed to it now, aren't they? It's JB coming in.
Yeah, and JB has kind of just chopped the race in half. We often, between me and Clyde, say those that chop the race in half in these races have not chosen one tactic or the other, and are in a bit of a tactical no man's land, as it were.
Yes, I can see that because if you're halfway through, you might as well stay out.
Yeah.
In my view, you might as well stay out till the cars are you're taking advantage of the lighter cars. As long as you haven't got any issues with the tyres, you might as well stay out until you're on fumes, because you're running the car light. You're likely to be doing your better lap times because of that.
My word. Sam Blees and Jamie Jeffrey. That was just
he
sensational.
Wanted past, didn't he?
Yeah.
He wanted past him. He's a bit of a force of nature when he's like that, Sam.
He is, yeah.
So he'll be pleased now because he can see Miguel. Now, Jamie should take this opportunity to lash on and keep up, because he's going to be pressed now.
Yep, fastest man on track is Jason Landry again, the first driver into the 132.5s.
That's a fantastic lap. 32 and a half.
Eye-watering, isn't it? I do think the Elantra suits him better than the Civic, it would seem.
Well, he's probably tested them, He's probably a sensible driver who's went out and tested a few cars and made his choice based on sensible research.
Carl Hardy is closing in steadily on Jamie Wilson. Last lap round, he was about a tenth faster. It doesn't sound a lot, but when you're only 8 tenths behind, it's, you know, a good proportion of the gap, isn't it?
It's the consistency, though, Pete. You've got to keep it up, and Carl's got better at that over time. He's a very consistent driver now.
You can see
that's how he's doing this.
Yeah. You can see the times, or the colour of the interval times. They were all white for a little while. They're going back to yellow now as everybody finds one another again. We'll see this time in and time out. There'll be red shortly as well, as David Johansson is closing in again on, well, he's closing in for the first time actually on Mark Draper. This could be a nice heated battle that will come to fruition shortly, I would think. David very late on the brakes. She can be, that Veloster is very forgiving on the brakes. She can properly stamp on it.
Yes, it's got good suspension.
Yeah.
It's comfortable. Yes, we've got things brewing up here very nicely. Jamie's going to have to find his pace to stay with Sam, because Sam's going to be chasing Miguel like nobody's business. But with the bit of toe, I shouldn't be surprised if they can. Well, I'd like to think they could close the gap a bit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've yet to see where Miguel, Sam and Jamie will pop out after their pit stops. As JB overtakes Andrew Littler. Has he got it done? Yes, he has. Nice racing. Got to go back to these two, though.
Yeah, it'd be nice if Andy can just sit with JB for a little bit. That'd be nice for him if he can manage that.
Yeah. So top three haven't pitted, these being two of them, and also Andrew Littler hasn't pitted yet. Miguel is your race leader at the moment. He no longer has the fastest lap time, although he has etched himself out a 4.5 second lead over Sam Blease. I don't remember a season where anybody was saying that about Sam Blease on any track.
Well, we'll see how it goes. But, do you know, we're kind of a bit intermediate, because Sam got in front of Jamie, and I think he's trying to chase, but of course he's got Jamie looking very large and racy. Oh, now Sam's coming in. Yeah. So this broke the chain here.
He has. That releases Jamie Jeffrey. Miguel has stayed out as well. Where is Jason Landry? He is coming through the chicane at the moment.
Miguel's got a second lap on Jamie at the moment. That's considerable.
Oh, yeah. So, Jason Landry has just overtaken Sam Blease in the pits. Or has he? Or has he? Just, and only just. This could be a bit tasty, you know, and if we consider that Miguel was 4 seconds ahead of Sam, or 4.5 seconds ahead of Sam, as Sam peeled off to pit road, that would mean that Jason Landry is in effective second place and Sam is third. But we'll see. Andrew Littler to pit road.
Oh, there's the skipper. He's trying to give Jamie a hard time here. JB's still in view at the rear and keeping up with them very nicely. And he's had to go into the pits. That's a shame, because he'll have lost his toe off JB now.
Yeah, he'll be a little ways back, but not that far actually. Carl definitely catching up with Jamie Wilson.
Well, very familiar with each other's driving.
Oh yeah.
They've got nothing to lose but by racing hard, and so I expect that they will. Now, Miguel, how's he doing? Are they closing? No, it's still 5.5 seconds.
It is Jamie Jeffrey, staying within 5 seconds of him though. I don't know where that'll put him when he pops back out. Probably with these two, or just behind them. His last lap was very good. Miguel is to pit road. What will Jamie Jeffrey do? He'll follow him. This must be the end of the fuel window.
Really, well, Jamie clearly didn't fancy a lap by himself and trying to make a gap.
No.
So, either he's shot or
Hardy is coming.
Oh, not this time.
Well, no, he might get a decent cutback at the exit of the chicane. Nope, that's about even, really, isn't it? Right, where is Miguel? And more importantly, where is Jason? Not that far behind. Jamie Jeffrey has come out ahead of David Johansson. So that's worked well for Jamie Jeffrey.
And Mark's still in the shout there as well.
Yeah, Sam Blease seems very far back. He was fighting with David Johansson earlier.
Yeah, but he wasn't making any ground on Miguel.
No. Ooh. We've seen Jamie Jeffrey go door to door with lots of people tonight. He's done brilliant, clean driving each time. Nice overtake from David Johansson. Yeah,
very, very tidy. Skillful stuff.
Well, given the speeds that these guys are going at, you can see what I was saying about the timing screen going red on us. We've got battles everywhere at the minute. Why is Jamie Wilson not on my screen anywhere?
Yes.
Oh, it's binned him.
Out.
You're joking.
Oh, disappointed for Jamie. Well, that's a shame. I've been doing that.
What the hell is going on tonight with internet? David says, is it just him or has Jamie Jeffrey really upped his game this season? It's been coming for a few seasons, hasn't it, Alan?
Yeah, we've seen it, haven't we? That, mind you, he did start off with a bang, Jamie. It's not like he's ever been below half way up the field, and occasionally I remember getting into 5th place as it wasn't it? You know, so he's shown very well before, but he's full of vim and vigour tonight, that's for sure, and he's fighting hard, and plenty of pace.
Yeah.
Running hard with the top 4, you know. There's that kind of elite group, isn't there, that sits there at the top of any league where they've just got that. Normally a handful of drivers, but he's there giving them a hard time. He's right in among those fast cats, and great driving by him.
This is the battle for 3rd place, believe it or not, headed up by David Johansson. He is starting to stretch it a bit. Miguel has absolutely responded to Jason Landry being behind him. He's just set up fastest sector 2, sector 3 of anybody.
Jason got in front of him before, didn't he? So
yes,
we know that Jason's got plenty of pace, and Miguel is very encouraged to try and pull out his fastest laps. Yes, these times, well into the 32s. Crikey, that's how long before a 31's going to pop out then, Pete?
I know. They were getting not far from it in the last race.
Yeah, they were on 32 zeros, weren't they? So
Jason Landry's brought the lead down to 0.8 of a second. He's definitely...
Well, that's great because Nick had, 5.5 seconds.
Yeah, he's definitely showing better in that Elantra, and I think when we speak to him later, that will be the case.
needs to do it very well, to stay with Mr. Johansson, because we saw the pace that he had last week. He was flying.
He was.
So, and really putting an oar in among the very top of the table. So these guys are doing well to be going with him. He's quick as quick.
Yeah, Mark Draper rather is getting very, very impatient to pass Jamie Jeffrey, but he's going to have to be careful because Jamie's no mug. He's going to have to do this a couple of corners back and really set him up, I think.
Yes, not easy, because we know that Jamie's really not afraid of going side by side.
No, and he's good through some of these corners, a little bit better, you'd argue, than Mark Draper, as Jason Landry has just put in a time of 2:32.1. Unbelievable, and he's about to get the world's greatest toe on his own teammate here.
Yes, and I think Miguel was probably trying hard for that not to happen.
He was, because he did a 1:32.7 himself, which
no, that's smart fine driving by Mr. Landry, isn't it, to pull Miguel back for 5.5 seconds.
Yeah, and now he's having a shot at him, and that Elantra is just mighty. Miguel, keeping with him a little. He was a bit offline there, though.
Has he got the same engine in that car as everybody else?
He's got a Ferrari engine in it.
V16 or something.
What's better than a V8? V16. More V's, please. More V's equal faster. Right, so...
yeah, well, I wasn't expecting to see Mr. Landry get to the top of the race quite as quickly and frankly, as easily and accomplished manner that he did that.
Yeah.
He didn't even break any sweat to me. To mine, that looked just calm and reasonably effortless as he cruised past everybody and took the lead.
Yeah. The one that's surprising me, and it's for all wrong reasons, sadly, is Sam Blees. He's in 7th place, up 3 places from the start. I just don't know why he's not further up the field. I don't know that he's had anything significant happen.
No.
Don't understand that one. He was super fast in the first race.
Good. I hope he's not carrying damage. His car isn't looking very lively, is it?
No, it's not. I wonder if there's something else going on. Miguel, not happy about being a bridesmaid 2 times tonight.
No, well, Miguel's made such a fantastic impression on this league right from the get-go.
Yeah, and such a nice bloke with it as well.
Yeah, really.
Very humble, no arrogance. White flag is out, by the way, already.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'm just getting warmed up here.
Who's that? Right, so Sam Blees seems to have suddenly got some pace in the last few laps. He's just done a personal best of 2:32.85. I just don't know why it's taken as long as it has for him to get to that. I'm sure it'll all get explained at the end of this. So, is Miguel...
That's a cracking lap, bro. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah. Is Miguel going to be able to have an answer for Jason Landry, his own teammate?
Well, they're slowing each other down, aren't they? They're all in the 33s now.
Yeah.
So... I reckon these are still scrapping hard. Then Mark hasn't given up on this, has he, at all? Not one
even,
bit.
Not even a little bit. The behaviour of that car is, I'm going to show myself in your mirrors in every single turn in the hope that I can distract you. Jamie Jeffrey, though, racer in real life, he's not going to be an easy victim to things like that.
No. And, They might be racing hard and scrapping, but they certainly aren't lacking any pace while they're doing it.
No, and David Johansson has got himself a bit of a breather here towards the end of this race. And Sam Blees, like I said, suddenly got a load of speed. Caught up with Carl Hardy in no time whatsoever.
Yes, which is kind of what I was expecting to happen a while ago, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Really hassling him now. Right, what are these two doing at the front here? Is Miguel gonna pop a send down the inside? No, because Jason Landry is closing that little avenue right off.
He's not going to have that, and he's got the pace to make it stick.
Yeah.
There's not much in it, but just that fraction just makes the difference when you try and close that gap there.
Yeah, well done, Jason Landry. Well done, Miguel. A repeat of the first race. David Johansson over the line. Mark Draper not able to do anything with Jamie Jeffrey, and then Sam Blees nearly pushing Carl round the chicane at the end, not able to do anything. Carl did really well there.
Yes.
People pulling donuts already. JB over the line.
Well done, JB.
Not too far behind everybody, to be honest.
No.
It's really good.
No, it's fine driving. It's good to see as well. Very good to see. Because JB's somebody who's stuck at it, he's not been bothered about not being the most competitive guy out there. He's loved his driving and he's raced, and now he has become one of the competitive guys.
Yes, he really has. Andrew Littler.
Bring her home, Andy.
Yeah, nicely driven. Over the line with a checkered flag. And then Fiona drops through the gears, through the chicane.
Such a nice, decent line through there, bit of a bounce on the curb, but at least I found the curb.
Yeah.
I can never find that thing, I'd miss it by a mile.
Well done to Fiona.
Hello.
And there we go. Maybe not her favourite track, let's say. I think I can decode that little message, don't you? It's fairly straightforward. Right, okay. Well, so, let's have a look at the race results. Because that was that was intense. That was good. Yeah. I enjoyed that. Jason Landry took the honours again. Second time tonight here at Spa for Impulse Racing in round 6 at the TCR Challenge Cup. Miguel got the second step on the podium again for Impulse Racing, followed his teammate home, separated by nothing whatsoever. 4 seconds back was David Johansson for Sim Racing Grid. A really good night for David, a 4th in the first race, a 3rd in this one. Jamie Jeffrey done really well there for Coupes and Convertibles Racing to finish 4th. Certainly a better finishing position than in race 1, which was the 6th. Mark Draper finished 5th in both races, so consistency is king there. Carl Hardy finished 6th in this one. 7th was Sam Blees. I'm somewhat bemused by that, I don't know. For Hydro Race Geodesic Racing, JB Deju finished 8th for BSTV Sports Blue. 9th was Andrew Littler for Spiro by result. Fiona Siddons finished 10th for Master Use Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. Jamie Wilson got spat out by Internet and or iRacing for Team Chimera, and then Austin Knight didn't start this one. Had enough of Spa in the first race after iRacing chinned him out as well. I think Spa has delivered well for us tonight.
Yes, I don't think that could have been any better, to be honest.
No, I agree.
With the field we've got there, I think they've raced their hearts out for us and done a damn fine job.
It's a good analogy actually. They've raced so hard. I mean, fastest lap of the race there was a 2:32.1.
Oh.
You know, and right from the very start of the race, we just saw battling all the way through the field, all very healthy. But tonight's
And some real skill on show, wasn't there, Pete? You know, some of those overtakes, the timing is so tasty. You've got to get it just right. You know, you're slotting into gaps that are there, but only there a short time. And yeah, great skillful driving by these guys.
Absolutely. Our absolute standout Victor this evening has just joined us in the booth. Jason Landry. You get on well in that Elantra, don't you?
Yeah, I think this car suits me a little bit better than the Honda. The first race, I really struggled. The second race, the Impulse guys gave me a little bit of a tip, so it helped a little bit for the second race. So I showed the speed, but it was just not consistent.
All right, okay.
But I know at Indy, I was like almost a lap faster in the Elantra, so it was bugging me. So I was like, all right, that's it, I'm doing it. I'm switching.
Yeah. Well, it very much suits you very well. You bested your teammate a couple of times tonight. At the beginning of that second race, we've just seen it on the screen there. There was a big kerfuffle between Miguel and Sam getting into contact there. I don't know whether that's what did Sam for the race, but he wasn't nearly as fast in that one. But yeah, tell us about your first race first, because you clearly extremely quick and evidenced it tonight absolutely. Fastest laps in both races. Took it to your teammate, and that's not an easy task, is it? Because Miguel has proven last season to us that he is some kind of racer. He's super fast, and you kind of eclipsed him a couple of times tonight. Both, I think, done at the end of the Camel Straight. A good bag of tow, maybe a more steady line coming up and over Radion, and then just hammered it towards Lecum and got him before the turn each time.
Yeah, honestly, Miguel is a great teammate. He was super fast in that Honda. I was nowhere near him in that kind of car. He definitely made it easy for me. There's definitely no team fighting on that one. But I was happy to give him a tow in qualifying because I feel like I had more pace.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy to tow him, give him that P1. And from there on, it was just in the sprint race, I think I just stayed behind him. I was happy to stay behind him for a while. Once I saw we were dropping the two guys behind, I think David Johansson and Sam, they were fighting.
Yeah.
Then I started creeping back up to Miguel. And when I got a good run down the straightaway, I just went by, and as soon as he saw me like pulled beside him, I had probably 10 kilometers an hour faster. He just let off, and that was it for the sprint race. And kind of similar for the feature race. I had to pit early because there's a bunch of cars, so I just tried to go for the undercut. Miguel got into the lead fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So it was wise for him to just stay out because he had free air. I had free air. I think I had to get by David in the pit stops, and that was extremely close. But thank God for that. Otherwise, I don't think I would have been able to do
that. Yeah, I mean, what a show you've both put on tonight from Impulse Racing and all the guys. But you're right. As soon as David and Sam started fighting in that first race, I mean, fighting always creates a gap to the cars in front, and lets the guys behind get involved as well, doesn't it? But you both proved what fantastic racers you are, and clean too. We saw it. Was it you? Yeah, I think it was you. Going door to door with Jamie Jeffrey. Great racing. Very clean from all the races tonight. To be honest, we only had one genuine. Like incident, and I think maybe Jamie Wilson might consider turning in or giving room a little bit more next time, but we'll see. Any shout outs you want to make before we can let you go and celebrate your double victory tonight in the BSTV TCR Challenge Cup?
Definitely the Team Impulse. They've been very patient with me. They've been trying to get me for a long time.
Right.
I've had other projects. So I'm happy to get the double win for them, and obviously thanks to Miguel, great teammate tonight.
Yeah, absolutely stunning.
Isn't that lovely? That's lovely, Jason. You've really done a great drive tonight, and it's been very entertaining. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, you guys, for broadcasting. That's awesome.
Yeah, no problem. And we will see you next time out. Jason Landry, everybody. Okay, right. After speaking to Jason Landry, we will now speak with Miguel Freitas. Good evening, Miguel.
Good evening.
Welcome to the booth. You're a frequent flyer in this booth, and tonight's no different. We've just spoken with Jason, obviously, and he was saying that you did a team effort at qualifying, got yourselves onto the front row. You got yourself the pole, with the draft from Jason as well, and then your teammate seems to have got very in tune with that Lantra very quick. Annoying, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a little bit, but yeah, in all honesty, I wouldn't have gotten top 3 in the quali if it wasn't for him, because the Honda is really slow on the straights here. So I was struggling a lot, and with his draft, I managed to get the pole with a huge time. So yeah, that's fair enough.
Just crazy though.
I think we saw a bit of that, didn't we? That with the pace with the Civic, because it was up the straight both times that you got in front of Miguel, and we thought that the Civic was maybe struggling at the top end of its rev range, and so it's proved.
Yeah, since turn 1, the exit there in first gear is very poor from the Honda, so we already are getting slow out of there, and then the top speed is also not great. I lose about like half a second if I have no car in front of me from the first turn until the first braking point.
Half a second, good grief. Right, so that explains it. We did see Jason in particular hauling the mail past you on the Camel Straight in both races once he'd got some free air to get into your toe. Lots of battling elsewhere in the field, and they probably gifted you a quiet sprint race, you and Jason obviously, because David and Sam were in the thick of it behind you, dueling it out. At the start of the second race, you and Sam got together at La Source, obviously choosing slightly different lines to take that first turn. I think you made contact with one another. You kind of speared off to the right, and Jason kind of swept around you both. I don't know whether Sam got quite a lot of damage from that because his car was very, very slow. What was your take on that first corner?
Yeah, it was just a huge concertina effect. I went on the right side. I tried to stay on the inside of Sam, and then I decided to back off, and I was pretty much stopped when I hit Sam.
Yes.
and then I think Jason, it was just not expecting me to be completely stopped there and hit me on the back, gave me some damage, but I don't think it messed up much with my car. So I got lucky there.
Right, okay. I think you've done remarkably well again. That Honda did seem to lack top end speed on the particularly long straights. I think each car showed its own individual features tonight. Probably the most rounded one being the Elantra. Through Blanchimont, the Veloster was utterly sideways, and I have to doff my hat to you because you're the only one that's popped out in the Honda, and you've got 2 second places tonight. So, absolute congratulations to you. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and start practice for the next round?
Yeah, thank everyone that showed up and everyone that made this happen. Yeah, it's fun. Hopefully next track will be a little bit better for the Honda.
Yeah. And then you can repay Jason the privilege of winning here at Spa. But stunning performance yet again. Love having you here. Great. I love talking to you in the interview afterwards. You're such a nice bloke. Miguel Freitas, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah, well done, Miguel. Very well done.
Thank you. See ya.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Half a second. There you go. That explains a lot, doesn't it?
It does. Right. Let's bring in our next victim into the booth, and the next victim is David Johansson. Good evening.
Hello.
That sim racing grid Veloster has got a bag full of pace in it, and you were taking...
Not tonight.
Well, I'd argue with that. You were taking it to Samblees in the first race,
Yeah, it was a roadblock for me. He
Yeah.
pushed me out on the grass on camel too. Didn't leave me in the room. I had to go out on the grass, not to hit him.
Well, it makes it interesting. You turned up for a race, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then in the second race, of course, you had Jamie Jeffrey to deal with.
Yeah. Had a lot of people to deal with. Not used to that.
Last time, of course, you performed exceptionally well.
Yeah.
What was it? A fourth and a third tonight.
Yep.
Great points for the league. You certainly weren't bored tonight, and you must have got a few lessons out of the car, knowing what you can do and can't do with it around Spa. Tell us about your first race though, because that Samblees battle went on all race.
Yeah, I was just a bit too careful in the Rouge on the start, so that way he got the position and he just kept it since I was on his tail the whole race, kind of just couldn't get by.
Yeah. But you exchanged places so many times. It was my event tracker on SDK was just pinging away that you'd overtaken him, he'd overtaken you, off track here, off track there for both of you. You were obviously running it right to the limits. You enjoyed it though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then race 2, Sam, I think, took some damage from Miguel really early on, and became less of a feature in race 2. But it didn't stop you finding another Elantra, and Jamie Jeffrey was the one this time.
Yeah.
It was you. Was it you and Jamie when you were in the pits and you left at exactly the same moment, or was that somebody
was
else?
late Jason.
That was Jason Landry. That's right.
I took 2 liters too much fuel. That's why he got ahead of me.
Okay. Because
yeah.
it was very much a 2-into-1 doesn't go at the exit to pit road.
Yeah.
And you backed out probably with 1 nanosecond to go before iRacing would have put contact back on. Probably a wise choice,
Yeah.
but
Then I forgot to disengage the limiter, so
right. Okay.
I lost the tow right away out of the pits. I was like, oh, great, good job.
Well, when you're concentrating on not becoming one with the car in front of you, leaving pit road, I can fully understand it. But I could see how that would be frustrating for you. Yeah, any other standout features of the race for you?
I'm just glad it's over.
We did speak to you last time, and we did find out that Spa was not very high on your list of favourite tracks. Road Atlanta.
It's not on my list of favorite tracks for the TCR at least. For the other cars, yeah.
GT cars, it's what it's made for, isn't it? This track.
Yeah, or the prototypes.
Yeah. Something where you can get a good amount of tow down that Camel Straight. Road Atlanta is the next destination for this league.
Yep.
A lot of people favour it. I love that track. Does that one at least get on your list of favourite tracks?
I don't know yet. It's a nice track. It's gonna be nice to do Petit Le Mans there in a few weeks, but I can't remember when I did TCR there last time. I'm not sure I even have.
Oh well,
maybe I have.
That'll be an interesting reintroduction for you.
You'll enjoy it, I'm sure. It's such a great circuit.
Yeah. It is.
Too right. We will look forward to seeing you there. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your 4th place and 3rd place respectively tonight in that SRG Veloster?
Shout out to you for doing a great broadcast.
Cool.
And a great league.
Yeah, we always like to hear that, don't we? Alan, always good stuff.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
We'll take all compliments every day of the year for the rest of our lives.
Well, we take all the fantastic racing, don't we? Let's face it. We get huge gobbets of fantastic racing delivered up to us every week by these magnificent gentlemen. So,
too right, we do. Yeah, and I think that SRG Veloster has been one in the camera lens more than any other car tonight. Brilliant racing, David Johansson, everybody.
Thank you.
Well done, David.
Right then, next into the booth.
Get them all 3 of them together.
Get all three together, do you think?
Yeah, come on, look,
Well,
three of them.
we'll bring Carl in first because we've got to make sure there's room in the booth.
It's been a long time. Hello, men.
Hello, Carl Hardy. Right, what did you do in the first race? You got
No idea.
7th, and in the second race you got 6th. You were the bubble in the spirit level in the second race, by the way, because you started in 6th and you finished in 6th, and a whole load of cars went past you, and a whole load of cars went past you in the opposite direction as well.
Yeah, well, I'm only going to say this once, right? Okay. Mark Draper
Yeah.
pushed me onto the grass. I won't mention it again.
Fair enough.
Love you, Mark.
First race, I can't remember where you started, but you definitely
I
finished.
can't remember. I started at the back.
You started at the back. That's right.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I couldn't get a lap in.
Right.
I kept on getting them damn bloody 1Xs.
Yeah, they were a feature for everybody tonight. No drives of shame that I can recall.
Mark was close,
no.
though, wasn't he?
Mark would have been because his name was popping up in the screen.
Yeah, well, he's a bloody cheat, isn't he?
I thought you said you weren't going to mention it again. But great to have you back with us. You were. I need to select you on the broadcast, otherwise it makes no sense for anybody watching. I do need your paints again because with the failure of iRacing and trading paints, everybody had to upload them again. So you and Andrew are driving in black paints tonight. You got stuck in. You have definitely gained a lot of speed, especially in that Veloster. Your lines look very clean and tidy, even if you are getting, shall we say, escorted to the track limits by other drivers. You must have enjoyed that though, right?
Yeah, I always, what are we in, 14 seasons?
14th, yeah. Crazy.
So,
yeah.
and I've done every single one, so, yeah, it's only you guys what keep on bringing the drivers back, so well done to you lot. But
Well, thanks for that.
I was going to take this season off, like everybody knew. I didn't keep that quiet. I just needed a breather. 13 seasons, I mean that's a lot of time, isn't it?
It is.
But I just had to. I like looking after my Backfire friends.
And we absolutely love you for it. You are an absolute stalwart of the league. There's quite a few of you in there that fall into that category. Yourself, Jamie Wilson. There's quite a few. Andy Littler's done quite a few seasons. He's had the odd one off, but he's still there and he's still in the thick of it. In fact, that's.
I tell you what, that boy's finding some pace as well.
Yeah,
he is. He's getting some good lines.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. He's also in the booth now as well. Good evening, Andy Littler.
Good evening.
Evening.
hello, Andy.
Hello, Alan.
I was just slating you, Andy. So they brought you in, so I'd do it to your face. Yeah.
He wasn't saying how you'd found loads of paste at all, and we weren't saying how your lines had cleaned themselves up really well. The first race week of this season, in that feature race, that was a brilliant thing to behold. Your ability to race cleanly and fairly with the people around you was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I got to say that's probably the most fun I've ever had in a sim rig. That first race, that feature race. Yeah. I came off absolutely buzzing after that.
Oh, it was exciting, Andy.
Too right. It's been, what has been the change for you? Has Carl been giving you pies and things like that to keep you in the races and stuff? Because you have had some sort of adjustment in your racing. It's very much improved.
It's all I can say. It's down to my colleagues in the result team, that the advice and help they've given me, which is just unbelievable. It's and Pete Newman as well, obviously, but Pete's part result now as well. But yeah, the guys have just brought me on so much with just braking techniques a little bit, which is then bringing me into the apexes because I was missing him by a country mile this time last year even. So yeah, the guys, I can't say enough about the Result family. It's just a place to behold.
No, that's really good. And I was going to ask you what an apex was because I've never encountered one in my life. There's several people who will be on the chat now, all furiously typing, saying that's an actual fact. But yeah, your improvement has been tangible. It's a great thing to behold, and if that's down to your colleagues and racers,
it's down to Andy working his ass off and trying really hard and being dedicated and devoted to it, and it's a credit to him. It is, and he's worked for it, man. He's earned every little bit of his pace and his improvement, and I love it. I love it that he does. It's these are the kinds of people we love to have in our team.
Too right.
Yeah. We've got a new member just joined us, Gary Walsh, who he keeps texting me after every session saying how good the lads are, and I think did you have a session with him last night, Carl?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. He texted me this morning just saying I can't believe how nice and helpful people are and friendly, and I've only just met them, but that's what Result is. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Racing and being.
You'll have to wheel him out and get him into one of our leagues at some point.
I'm trying very hard, Pete.
It doesn't have to be this one. I think this one's going to be a reduced field season, I think. But when everybody returns next season, and especially given the fact that we're going to launch Pro and Am next season for this league, I think that'll attract a few more people. With what happened with Bill, it became very difficult for us to promote this season. There's a lot of change going on in the background, so that's part of what happened. But we expect much better, robust fields next time. Carl managed a 7th and a 6th. You managed a 9th and a... Where did you finish in the second race? 2 9ths. So, consistency's there. And we saw some great battling again from you. I think the pair of you have done really well. How much practice are Result going to do to get a decent finish at Road Atlanta next week?
Oh, is that where it is?
Yeah.
See, that's where because obviously, like the Stephen Walkers, the Matt Elmores, all of them, they're who I used to do a lot of practice with. Yeah. And race practice. But obviously they're taking a season out. Mm-hmm. So I've lost that. So last night I done 5 laps on my own, and that was it. And then obviously tonight, that's all I've done, which is, I used to spend hours, Pete. Yeah. But yeah, so I've lost it a little bit with the old practice, but and that's down to obviously I'm doing this Clio League as well, so and I won't say the name because it's not how we work. So so I'm doing the Clio. It's and to be fair, I'm doing all right in that as well. So and we've got a new face, a young 16-year-old in the team, who's just he's just stupidly quick. I ain't gonna say his name because I just ain't gonna.
Get it out there.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because he's silly quick, and his head is probably big enough as it is, so he can shut off.
Well, again, hopefully he'll show up around here at some point.
I'm going to leave him in the Clio for a couple of seasons, but the idea is for him to show his face in Backfire.
All right, excellent stuff.
In the TCRs, I'll just see how he gets on because he's literally been on iRacing a week, and he joined the Clio. His second race ever in league. He got a 3rd on the podium. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
And I should point out there's some classy drivers in that league. There is. So getting a podium in there is not an easy. It's not a gimme by any chance.
Sounds like you've got quite a talent brewing there.
Yeah, he'll be one to watch, I reckon, as he gets used to the old iRacing. But yeah, I mean, it's just like it's mad, isn't it? Because obviously these youngsters, they jump on and they've got pace straight away, and it's so bloody annoying as an old person. That was polite, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where they just have this pace straight away, and we just have to battle for every tenth. Where it gets on my nerves.
Well,
it's a little shit.
At least he's not at your pies yet, Cal.
He won't touch them, mate.
This is going over everybody's head, because what you need to do is explain that this young man is the son of Carl's girlfriend.
Right, I see. I did wonder if there'd be some sort
Yes, there's a relationship thing going on here.
So the shameless plugging will come with names and leagues attached to it.
He has said to me, 2 weeks and I'll be quicker than you. And I can't actually say he won't be, because I reckon he will be. The little shy there.
Well, we'll all look forward to that day, because then the ribbon gets even more, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. That's when I retire, mate.
Well, highly entertaining from the pair of you. Anybody you would like to thank before I flush you out of this room, Carl?
Yourself, Alan, obviously, all the others in the background doing their thing just to support Backfire. I know there's a few people, and just all the drivers in general. The whole community. Obviously, the TCR drivers is what I race with, but the whole community is brilliant.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, now get out.
Right, sod off. Laters.
That's him gone, Andy. Now you can tell us what you really think of him.
Yeah, he's a star. He's a superstar.
That wasn't
really
in the script, was it, Alan? It was star in the script.
No, we were chatting when we were going round here, because last year Carl and myself went to the circuit for the F1, and we were saying that bloody hill is nothing like it is in real life walking up and down it, which it isn't.
No, not at all.
We were shattered after a weekend walking up and down that bloody thing.
You don't want to trip when you're at the top of it, do you?
Oh, no. Wow, it's unreal.
Yeah, need an oxygen by the time you get to the top. Anybody you'd like to?
I need oxygen at the bloody bottom, Peter.
I'd just like to echo what Carl said. Yourself and Alan and everybody at Backfire, all the lads that are driving it, but especially Fiona. It's been nice to have someone trailing round at the back with me at the moment, and we're sort of competing with each other a little bit there, so it's been brilliant.
Awesome stuff. We'll be speaking to Fiona shortly, and we'll look forward to seeing you at Road Atlanta next time out. Andrew Littler, everybody.
Definitely. Thank you. Take care.
Andy, darling.
Bye.
Cool. Right. Next and last, in her usual interview slot, is mid-conversation Fiona Siddons. Good evening.
Good evening.
We've just been speaking about you to Andrew Littler and Carl. Andrew saying, a shout out to you for being a competitive racer back there with him. But again, Spa's not your favourite track. I remember you saying last time.
I like Spa. In this thing, I just didn't get. I just too much understeer tonight, and I don't know why it was. I altered the brake bias to make the back end come round in corners a bit, and then lost it twice in race one, and ended up sitting in the pit smoking.
Yeah.
And I drove race two, exactly the same speeds through the corners, and no problem at all. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, I don't. You'd have to have a look and do some VRS analytics and see if your setup's loaded correctly, because I've had that happen in the past. I've got a list of why I didn't do well that goes on several pieces of rolled out parchment, but that's definitely in there as one of them. But Yeah, we saw you racing pretty robustly with a lot of people. In the second race, you decided you didn't want any part of anything. At the start there, you let quite a lot of people go, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a slow down going up.
Oh.
Got a bit too much off track.
Yes, it was.
Right.
Yeah, it was really. Yeah, it was sad for you because right at the beginning of the race, and it got gapped.
You called that as well, Alan.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I wasn't so sure, but you've just confirmed that one. So that is a massive shame, and that's the reason I was laughing is because Alan called it in the broadcast. Spa can be a bit punishing in terms of off tracks and slowdowns at times. From the rest of the stuff that I saw, I don't know whether your incident count was quite high or not. I don't think it will have been. You're certainly back in the competition for a Safe Driver Award because you're in second place at the moment. But yeah, it's always great to see you on track. Tonight you had some little exchanges, or actually a couple of big exchanges with Andrew as you were battling each other for position. Yes, you're further down the field, but it doesn't make it any less exciting, does it? And you really both seem to suit the Elantra, and I think you're definitely finding your pace in it. You've definitely improved over the last couple of seasons, that's for certain.
Yeah, after it was in result chat with us, he was saying that I'm getting faster, and Carl said I've come on loads in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It was Mark Draper, wasn't it? It was in the chat.
Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of good news and a bit of bad news for you, Pete. I'm joining Andy in Spyro by results. This is the last time you'll see the Vapors Mansfield livery.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, I like that colours. Those colours, very regal, very traditional colours. Those, but it does mean that you've got a teammate there that you can both, share experiences with, get each other, properly motivated for the races and lots of mutual encouragement and stuff. And that's what these leagues are all about. It's not official racing where it's every individual for themselves. This is much more of a community effort, and the more that we can promote that, the happier I'll be, and the happier multiple other people will be as well. To be a part of this is something special for me. I know it is for Alan because he said it before. And as long as I keep plying him with bottles of whiskey at the end of each season, I'm pretty sure he'll stick around. And I hope you do as well, Fiona, because you're a great addition to this league. Racing when you're in it is very exciting, and I'm really elated that you're part of it. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and start your practice for Road Atlanta?
Yeah, just you guys for doing the great stream again and organising the league, and everybody in the result team.
Brilliant. We shall hope to see you doing some serious overtakes for position with your new teammate in the Spyro team next time out. Fiona Siddons, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Pete.
Well, as ever, Fiona is the cornerstone of our interview.
It's a beautiful bookend, I think.
Absolutely, that's a great way to describe it. See, this is why you do.
Evening to a very nice, calm end, I think.
Yeah, that's why you're into your music and lyrics and all the other wonderful things that you do in the background beyond sim racing, or maybe it's the foreground. Who knows?
Used to be,
yeah. I've had a fantastic time tonight, and we've seen yet again that little grids don't ever eclipse the capability and the excitement of the driving that you get in this particular league. Jason Landry has utterly mopped up tonight. We do have a challenging decision to make, though, Alan.
Yes, well, you've got. I know what I'm doing, so you've got a challenge to make. Yeah. I've got 2 choices in my hat, so I'm set up.
Well,
So I know that you're bound to choose one of those. So I've got an alternate going ready. But I'm interested to see who you're going to choose.
well, for me, I have to say, even though he was a bit downhearted in the interview phase, David Johansen's tenacity tonight and his ability to put that car into very challenging situations is probably going to get my vote. The other car, or there's a few to be fair. Jason Landry getting a double victory here is something that should not be ignored. But in my opinion, he's going to benefit from all those wonderful points that he's just got. Plus the bragging rights over Miguel, an obvious bragging rights over Wobbly, who never turns up anymore. He's got new friends, and he's not good enough to race here anymore, I don't think. And then Mark Draper, he did really well. Jamie Jeffrey, that was some serious, decent racing we saw from him, very, very fast. But I think I'm going to have to capitulate in front of my own logic and say David Johansen gets my vote this week. I think that's twice in a row. I might have to book a room for us both. So yeah,
Well, funny enough, I don't think I called David as one of your choices.
right, okay.
No, I'm glad you do, because you're right. He did do a really great drive. Now we've got Jason who won 2 races.
Yeah.
But really didn't have to break into a sweat to do it.
No, I
And
mean,
we've got an amazing drive by
rocket
Miguel with a car that was dropping him half a second in pace, and that explains a lot.
Yep, definitely.
Jamie Wilson, so unlucky.
Yes.
Mark Draper fighting like a demon, but I think Jamie Jeffries' fighting performance and pace tonight has beguiled me, and I'm going to give it to Jamie Jeffries.
I think that's a very, very well placed vote. He was one of mine, up there in the upper echelons of driver of the meeting votage. He is quite a competitive package once he gets in the zone, and he proved it again tonight.
And he's been very clean as well, because he's doing well in the Safe Driver Awards as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to try and get.
And when you're as competitive as he is, in the thick of it, like he always is, and I've said this before, he's always in the thick of it, and he still manages to get good in the Safe Driver Award. I don't know how you do that, frankly.
I think it's just part of some people's DNA. He races in the real world, and I think that translates very well into the sim racing world. And he's a great ambassador of good, clean, competitive racing, and he's
skillful, man. It's great skill as well, isn't he? Yeah.
Fantastic racer. And
enjoyed him tonight very much, and
he'll be eternally welcome in the BSTV community.
I've enjoyed all the race. I've enjoyed the race tonight, Pete. I think it was a really everybody raced hard for us. They do, they're a great bunch of guys.
Yep, too right. Right, that is it from Spa this week. Jason Landry's run away with 2 victories. Impulse have run away with a bag full of points, with Miguel getting 2 second places. And we now look forward to next week, where we will be racing at Road Atlanta. It's another couple of weeks before we revisit the V8, so I'll tell you all about that in the next broadcast. But from me and Alan, it's going to be a good night. I'll say mine and then let Alan say his. I think the interviews have been wonderfully healthy tonight, and thanks to all the racers that turned up. Thanks to everybody that watched, and particularly thanks to Alan for joining me in the booth yet again. And I will always appreciate him being there. So good night, everybody, and we will see you next time. Stay safe.
Well, good night, my dears. It's been a pleasure to be here. I've had a lovely evening. My Wednesday night with Pete is a precious thing for me, and I love doing this. And I'll see you next week.